If there's one thing that I'm afraid of in this world, it's any animal that has a number of legs greater than 4. I don't know why, but you show me a picture of a shrimp, or like a lobster, or like a spider, or, I mean, heaven forbid, one of those weird bugs that I found by my washing machine the other day, and that's why haven't washed my clothes in like 3 weeks. I will panic and cry. I do not like those things. They creep me out. Any sort of crustacean or insect or arachnid, except for Spider-Man, can get lost when I'm in the room. If there's one other thing that I'm afraid of, it's getting old. Man, dude, getting old sucks, man. There's nothing you can do to stop time, but eventually it's gonna happen to all of us. Unless, like, the planet, like, overheats and we all die. We're probably all gonna get old at some point. And that's gonna be horrible. I'm gonna have to take my teeth out and, like, rest them in a jar while I'm, like, sleeping. I can't see anything. I gotta walk with a cane. It's gonna be horrible, but there are some upsides. Because believe it or not, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I can't wait to just have like a Saturday morning where all I do is pull my pants up to my belly button, sit in a rocking chair on my porch, eat butterscotch, and just yell at all the young whippersnappers to get off my lawn. That sounds like the life, and I'm looking forward to it. And basically my point is, everyone hates being old, but sometimes old things aren't just old. They're vintage, they're retro, they're aged, they're incredible, specifically when it comes to video games. I've been playing a lot of old video games on this channel, stuff from the SNES or the NES or the Sega Genesis, and some of these games were pretty wild. Obviously, they have to be excused that they're a little bit difficult, basically impossible because they're very old and old video games just can't be played. Like, they were specifically, like, literally rigged so they could have more money at the arcades, but generally speaking, you can have some really old video games that are really good and some very old game mechanics or features about video games that they just don't do anymore. So let me take you through a tour of some of the greatest things that we gotta bring back to video games. Some of you young children right now are watching this on TikTok, and you guys are being like, what is this? I only know how to play Fortnite and Roblox. If you kids will listen up and let the real men talk, I'm gonna show you how video games are actually supposed to operate, okay? First of all, what's so cool is back in my day, when you go to the store and you get a video game, and you put that game in your console, you then immediately get access to the game you paid for. You don't have to wait for a patch or a download or nothing, you just play it. You buy Twilight Princess for the Nintendo Wii, you put that thing into your Nintendo Wii, you're playing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Here's a bull, it's charging at you full speed, better grab it with both of your hands, you immediately get into the game. You buy that game for like the Nintendo Switch, dude, you gotta wait forever for the Nintendo Switch to update the game. I already bought the game, just give it to me, let me play it. They can't do that anymore. It's a really big shame, and I understand games are larger, so it takes more for the game to run, but that doesn't make me any less unhappy about it, and I think it's pretty cool that in the old days you could just play the game. Another thing they don't have is cheat codes. Dude, we gotta bring those back. I'm serious. If there's one thing we need to bring back from the past, a relic, an ancient magic that we've forgotten, it is cheat codes. They had so much okay, so nowadays when you want to cheat at a game, you download hacks and then live stream yourself using your hacks and you get banned on Twitch. Back in the day, you didn't have to download any hacks. The hacks were built into the game. The trick is you had to learn how to unlock them with the cheat codes. So if, say for example, you were playing Lego Batman 2 and you're like, man, this game is fun. I wish I was invincible and I wish I had like a bunch of goofy sound effects and stuff. You know what you do? You have to wait and get one of the gamer magazines, scroll, like flip through it till you get to the end, and then they're gonna have a list of games and cheat codes. You type that stuff in, boom, you unlock Superman. It's awesome, dude. It was such a good concept. I had so many great memories of just, I literally have so many cheat codes just embedded into my brain that will be there until the day I pass from this earth. There was a game called Spider-Man for GameCube. Yes, that one. No, not that one, the other one. The one not with the pizza song, the one that came before that. I have every single cheat code to that game memorized, and I don't know what zip code I live in real life, because that is how much priority cheat codes took in my brain. I have so many memorized. And that game was awesome. You type in the code chill out, you get to mow people down with your machine gun, and it just never overheats. It's really cool. And I memorized, like, the only reason I beat that game was because I memorized the cheat code that gives you infinite webs, that gives you level skip, that gives you all the combo moves unlocked. I memorized all that stuff. That's the only way you get through that game. I've never beaten it any other way. You want to get a tank in Grand Theft Auto? You type in the code. You want to get extra lives in Contra? You type in the code. They used to have that stuff, and they don't anymore, and I'm really upset about it. I guess if they did bring cheat codes back, it still wouldn't be the same, though. because nowadays you can't like hunt it down, or you can't get together with your friends and be like, guys, check it out. If you do this cheat code, I figured out that this new thing happens. Everyone would just look on the internet, and that ruins all the fun. But it's still pretty cool. We still could bring back cheat codes, and we really should. Another thing that we got to bring back is the instruction manual. See, nowadays, you get a video game, that's it. You get a game. Most people don't even get the physical copy of the game. They just download it. And consoles nowadays, and the Switch too, you can't even get physical copies of the games. If you buy the copy, it just downloads the game for you. So the physical copy does nothing. And that sucks because you used to have to go and get the box, and it came with a book on the inside that gave you instructions on how to play the game, which you would probably ignore because you would just play the game. It gives you a tutorial in the game. But it was cool to get the book, usually because on the way home, when your mama is driving you home from GameStop, you can read through it and see like, oh my gosh, there's cool stuff in this instruction booklet. It gives me breakdowns on all the characters and the main menu and things. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I love this game. Nowadays, you don't get that. I mean, if you just download a game, you don't get anything. There are some games that I've got recently, most notably Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, and Sonic X Shadow Generations. It comes with other stuff. It comes with little booklets, instruction booklets. Some of them are, I think Shadow Generations is like a page out of like Dr. Eggman's diary or something. I haven't read it in a while. He's talking about, you know, he lost his tooth today and he's so excited for the Tooth Fairy. You get some games that they'll come with like postcards and stuff in them. I got stickers in a game once. That stuff is cool. So they do still do it, but it used to be so much more common, like an event to get a new game. You go to get a game, you don't just hit download and then you got it. You had to go to the place and buy the game, and you physically get it. It was so cool. And I don't know how we're gonna bring that back, because I don't think people are gonna be willing to like actually go out and buy games again, because it's just way too convenient to just hit click and download it. But it used to be so cool that you can go out and buy the game. That was legendary, man. I mean, I guess you still can do that, but it's a lot less exciting, because pretty much if you look at the back of game boxes nowadays, it's so much less exciting to go and actually, it's less geared toward people who go and buy games, because you can tell by looking at the back of the game boxes that you have like one blurb about what the game is and nothing else. Like if you look at old movies, they'll give you a whole description of what's on the back of the movie. Like it'll give you a whole paragraph about what the plot is of the product you're purchasing. Nowadays, if you go to get a movie, if you do still buy things on DVD, it'll just give you one blurb like, Luke Skywalker fights the villain, buy the movie. Like, they don't tell you what it is at all, because they assume you already know it, and they also assume that, like, barely anyone's gonna buy the DVD. And it's the same thing with video games, man. They're just gonna assume that no one wants to go and buy video games, because most people just want to download them. And I'm not knocking that. I think it's great that we can do that. Obviously, it cuts back on plastic, but obviously, the more important, or not more important, but the more noticeable immediate difference is that you no longer have to wait to get the game. You can just get it immediately. You pre-order a game, you play it the second it launches. But I don't know, I always like getting physical, tangible video game consoles, or copies of video games. It's so much more entertaining and exciting that way. And we gotta bring that back, man. We gotta start a widespread movement to physically get stuff, because even if you're not like, I know it's obviously better to digitally get it, it doesn't take up space, but there's just something about physically having a game and all the stuff that comes with it that makes it so much more exciting, man. I feel like video games now just aren't the same as games that used to be. Nowadays, there are so many games that are so willing to just let you play these incredible games for free, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Halo Infinite multiplayer is free. Splitgate multiplayer is free. That is incredible. What's horrible is that the way they justify that is then they just keep trying to get you to pay money for fake clothes. Back in my day, if you wanted to dress as Hatsune Miku in like a fighting game, you had to unlock her as a character. Now you just spend like $29.99 on V-Bucks and you get Hatsune Miku and Hank Hill, and it's just like, it's cool that I have that, but I like to be able to unlock stuff in the game and like a reward for playing the game. So I know, video games are great, and I do think they're going to keep getting better, and thankfully, most of the time, if you really want to play an older game, you still can. Even if it's technically illegal to emulate them, you can still do it. But what I'm saying is that I think we all need to work a little bit harder and come together as a gamer community and make games super duper awesome like they once were. They still are good, but there are just some older stuff we can bring back. Just because something's old doesn't mean it's dumb.